Welcome to Finca Live. We're Sharon and Andy, just two people with a dream and a vision of restoring our traditional stone-built farmhouse in southern Spain, transforming it into a beautiful off-grid home and sharing our journey with you. Good morning.
Morning everyone.
Welcome back to the Finca.
I know, gorgeous patio which we are enjoying.
We are indeed.
Immensely.
Absolutely scorching June day.
Again, another one. Yeah, it's getting up not far short of 100 Fahrenheit, high 30s.
Yeah, so we are still working on the courtyard. We've still got things to do to finish off, but it is really too hot now to be outside. So it's at a point where we can still enjoy it.
Yes.
Where we don't have to kill ourselves in the heat.
We're going to improve it
as
we discover things through time. In the meantime, we're going to be back in the old kitchen.
Yes.
Chris is coming up from Tales on the Coastside.
Yes.
To have a look. He's a bit of a cave expert. I mean, if you've seen their videos, he's done 2 massive caves.
Yes.
So our little cave hole shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be too much of a problem.
No,
yeah, he's just going to give us a bit of advice, really, and
what he thinks we should do. How to progress with it potentially as well.
We still don't know what to use it for.
No, still don't know, but
we need to do something
it's
with
there.
it.
It's been there for 150 years, so we kind of want to keep it there, really.
Yeah.
So shall we crack on?
Let's do it. Just before we start in the kitchen, I just wanted to update you, as I promised I would, on our poorly plum tree. Remember a few days ago, all this new growth had gone shriveled up and it was absolutely full of ants, and our lovely neighbour Emilio gave us some special stuff to put on it, and it seems to have worked because we have new growth now on the end of these branches after we sprayed it all. So really pleased. As I say, the bits that are on it that have already been eaten can't do anything about, but yeah, it's growing again, so that's great news.
Right, look who's here.
Hello.
Our very own caveman.
Yeah, Captain Caveman.
This big hole you can see with the light there. Excuse me, croaky this morning. It is a cave basically. It's bone dry, but we want to keep it. Don't really know what to do with it, but Chris has done miles and miles and miles of caves, his own. Yes. So he's kind of come along to have a look to give us a bit of advice on how to finish it off and what needs to come off, what can stay, etc, etc.
Yeah.
Can you get in there though?
Well, definitely just. I'll have a go. I'll have to go backwards.
You want to move that out of the way?
No, you're alright.
Backwards.
It's Chris's reversing. Crikey, it's a small hole.
He's in.
I mean, once you're in, there's plenty of room, isn't there?
We don't know if we can get him out, but he's in. So, thanks Chris for that. He's had a good look at it, reckons it's alright, pretty solid. Still don't know what we're going to do with it yet, but probably going to clean it all out. Maybe lime it up, make it, consolidate it, make it solid. We're still thinking. In the meantime, I'm going to keep on working on this half, and then we'll come to that after. So, we've got my gloves, safety goggles, and air hammer. Let's do it. Carry on with this. It's coming along slowly. It's not coming off easily at all. Well, I mean, we've had a few, I don't know, should we say, strange comments on the last video, whether we didn't express ourselves clearly, but comments like, take it all down, it's just a mess. I'm like, what do we take down? This is the oldest part of the building. It's more than 150 years old. This wall, it's underground, the ground level's somewhere up there, and just behind it is just soil, so I don't know what we can take down. We had a comment saying we'd destroyed this pizza oven by opening up this old fireplace. This was the original fireplace down here. The pizza oven was installed later, and if you can see in there, it's still in absolutely intact, in perfect condition. All this lot has got to come off. because this was where the old fireplace was infilled many years ago. It's all been plastered with gypsum type stuff. Gypsum and concrete are the death of old solid wall stone houses, especially because they trap damp and cause condensation. This wall behind where I've taken it off, it's absolutely bone dry. Someone else said about a dust mask as well. We don't need one in here. It's that damp, the stuff that's coming off. There is no dust. And safety goggles. These are 3M safety sunglasses. I have clear ones as well for when it's not so bright. But yeah, this stuff, it just sucks moisture in, whether it's caused by ingress moisture from somewhere or even condensation from the building. These walls need to breathe, and this rubbish stops them from breathing. We did exactly the same in the room next door, which is equally underground, and it's absolutely bone dry, as will this be when it's done. So, on that note, I'm going to carry on. This stuff really isn't easy to get off. I resorted to big shifter. I've just got to be careful because this will mark the stones. Got to try and follow the joints. Why is it not working? Plug it in. So once we got the bulk of it off with the big shifter, we get the little bits off with the air. It's much more gentle. Tickle it off. It still takes forever. Being damp doesn't help. It tends to cling and follow around the joints of every stone. Right, okay, we've got a fair chunk off there. I want to try and see what's holding this up. See if I can get this stuff off here. I'm going to start off with a scraper. Crikey, so I don't know. Yeah, I just want to see how it's joined to the wall, how it's held up, what's fixing it. So I'll have a little dig away and we'll have a look in a bit. Right, okay, it's revealing itself slowly. In here, if you can see, there's a piece of timber bound in the string. This obviously, that's what's potentially was holding it up. Up there, on the front here, there's a definite tile. I hope you can make that out. The light's not great in here. Right, okay. What we've got two bits of probably almond stuck in the walls, and there's a piece of almond runs right the way across the front. This, I've just confirmed with Sharon, it's just big lumps of built up plaster to form the thing. Absolute rubbish. All the damp, it is damp. And same with this under here, that's just loose now. Up here is all clay tiles, so they can stay. So I think we'll be doing a bit of rebuilding on this, or improvements to it certainly. Maybe a wooden mantle, don't know. But at least we know where we're at with it now, and assuming these don't snap, they don't seem too rotten, it shouldn't fall down. So I'll carry on, get this lot out, and see where we're at in a minute. Right, so the plot thickens, you can see it clearly now, the original timbers, pretty solid actually. We need to do some work up inside here because it's, actually this side's not so bad, but that side's a bit like falling down. Don't know what to do with it, so we're not going to do anything with it. We're just going to sleep on it. You can see the old tiles here built on top of that. It's actually all pretty solid, pretty good, but this stuff has got to come off because it's heavy, it's damp, and anything that attracts damp or traps moisture in an old building like this is absolutely useless to us. I guess when they built them that long ago they didn't know, and they just used what, there we go, whatever materials were available to them locally, perhaps not realising that they weren't actually good for buildings and that. But we can fix it, and we can use the old techniques to make the old things in a modern way, if that makes sense. Traditional materials, traditional techniques, traditional styles, rebuild it. Right, so now we know what we're dealing with, I can carry on with this. Guess a joint. Well, it's coming along slowly as with everything else. Someone's on shoveling duties again. Bless her. But even that, the air hammer's so light, it still gets heavy after a bit, especially in this temperature. It'd be a lot cooler than if we had the doors shut, but that's not conducive to working really, is it? So, it's time for a nice cold beer. What do you want, Poppy?
Oh, yes, please.
Right, it's another day. This morning we pumped another 1,500 litres of water out of our deposit that we collected in May. That's 4,500 litres altogether now. Now it's gone, it's empty. Well, that's what we collected off the roof in May. So I know it could have been another month like that later on in the year. Anyway, back to this. We're actually kind of quite liking this. Obviously it's going to need cleaning up and pointing up, but we might leave this timber with these bindings exposed. We're still not sure, but we're kind of liking it. In the meantime, we've got time to think about it because I've got the top of this to get off yet, which is probably going to take me most of the day. Right, well that's a bit of a result. This stuff over here is absolutely bone dry, rock hard, solid. Maybe the original lime that's not been messed with like this has down here. So I'm going to leave it. It saved me a load of work, probably a full afternoon. Yeah, we'll probably just skim over this with a lime plaster just to even it all up, and then keep going that way. Now have a look at this chimney breast, would you call it? The hood, the extractor thing for the bread oven. Well, yeah, that's happy days. Well, look what we found, the entrance to this bread oven, a stone arch. I was contemplating what to do with that, but obviously the stone arch is staying and it's going to be a massive feature. Seems a shame to put the panel up in front of it now. Maybe I'll have to think of something else. Okay, pretty good, bit of a clear up time now. I think what we're going to do is rebuild this half to support this. Probably have to leave it to go off for a couple of days and then we can move over that way. In the meantime we can probably go this way a bit as well. So, let's crack on mate. So we're off. We've just built this up dry basically. We're just going to pack it in with a bit of mortar now, give it a good wetting, kind of the way the walls were built originally. Nothing in the middle of them, they're just stacked up and what have you. So we'll carry on. So in a bit where we're up to. So we're off. The difficulty we've got is, and what's been revealed, a lot of these stones, just let me get my glove on. A lot of these stones that came out of this that were infilled are all cracked like that with smooth faces on, which is how a lot of the house was built. This must have been filled in when the old corral was built, because it's a different type of stonework. There's no cracked stones in this, they're all pretty much as they will be picked up, maybe the odd one, whereas a lot of them in there are cracked stones. So we reckon when they've done their home improvements, the corral, this was built around, I don't know, 1860, 1870, and that we think was built around 1908, and it was extensive modifications then, because there's actually an inscription on the wall, which I think we have shown you before, dated 1908. Is 1908, is it? Yeah, Sarah says yes. So we reckon that's when this was filled in, and the bread oven was put in the same time the corral was built, and possibly the bodega and this whole bit joined together by the main farmhouse bit, if that makes any sense at all. So what I've got to do is try and make this match up to this, because we're not actually used to this style of stonework, because there's not that much of it in this house. So bearing that in mind, we're going to try. So we'll carry on. You just got to be careful I don't push this front one out, because it's just kind of, that's it. Excellent. A couple of little ones in there. I think that's a stone. Discard that. I want to keep the base as level as we can, obviously, so to enable us to build up. Right, we're going to leave it like that for now, for a day or two, just to let it consolidate, let it dry out a bit, and I'm going to carry on with the wall over here on the right hand side. Just got to clear all this rubbish out of the way first. Right, okay, so we're in. You got my glove on again, pull that down. What we're going to do, perhaps just round this bottom off a bit here, maybe leave that straight and round it off at the other end. We don't know, we'll do it and have a look. But all this needs raking out, get all the joints exposed. It's absolutely bone dry, so all this can stay on. Bone dry and solid, like the top up there. Maybe it's original stuff that they use is good. So do it. That bounce off there then. There we go. Righto, we're nearly halfway along here. This stuff's rock hard, but it's got to come off because it's where the bench was. Nothing we can do. Yeah, we just. That's the realise that it dawned on us that it actually takes twice as long as pointing to get this off. So we look forward to pointing it up in a bit, it'll go a lot quicker. But in the meantime, we'll carry on. The goat herders out this morning. They were out bright and early. A regular feature around here, look at them all.
Well, first of all, thank you all for your comments with regards to our cave hole here and what to do with it. We've had some really good suggestions, so we're still not sure. We're going to leave it for now because you know us, we're always changing our minds, so if we're not sure, don't do it.
Anything.
Yeah. We have decided though that this bench, now that we're not going to have a table over this side of the kitchen, we're going to move this over to that side.
Which will give us better access.
It'll give us better access
to the big hole.
To the big hole, because you really can't see it with this being here.
Or get to it.
Or get in and out of it. So that seems logical now to move that over to that side. Which means the work that Andy was painstakingly doing yesterday, cleaning off where the bench came
what
out.
I've done is enough. I don't need to do any more.
Yeah, because that's obviously going to be. It's going to have the bench there, so that will be covered anyway. So it saved you a bit of a job.
Yeah, and we've decided what we're going to do with the floor. We found some lovely stone, or we think we have. We need to go and see it.
We need to go and see them, but we've
very,
been looking
reasonably
this
priced
morning
as well.
Yeah,
but
good.
before we do the floor, we need to get all these stones cleaned off, get it pointed, get the walls done, whitewashed. But we need to get all this rubbish off this side first as well. So we'll just keep making a mess. Make a mess, make some mess. Are you going to start on cleaning these?
I am. I'm going to start cleaning off those stones, give them a good vacuuming and a good scrub. And you're going to carry on.
I'm going to do a bit more
rebuilding this
hole, which you just can't quite see. Maybe
just
you
below
can, but you will in a
red
bit. Cool, right, let's crack on then.
Let's do it.
Right, so I've just taken the front off the side of this. I'm probably going to leave this side. I only knocked this side out so we could see what was behind it, what was going on. The stones look pretty good. It just depends on how the joint looks where they meet up there. So I'm just going to carry on and strip this back and then see what we've got once again. It looks as though these are going to join up all right. There's a hole there where I've knocked out two small ones where there was an obvious joint. I'll put a bigger one in that when we come to refill it. But generally, so far so good, so it could save me a lot of work.
Right, well, I'm going to have a go at cleaning these up whilst Andy's working over there. We don't get in each other's way. Dry wire brush first of all, and then if not, I'll resort to scrubbing them with some nice warm soapy water. Yeah, we'll see. Get some of this rubbish off.
Right, so now that we're happy with that, I'm going to get a bit more of this wall done, get it filled up. I'm going to touch the other side really because it's still as it was, so that's good. Super. Give it a good wetting down again, helps it all to stick together. And let's do it. Start down there, I think. Maybe not that one. This is half the battle. Finding suitable size stones. I quite like that one actually. You fit in there alright, I think. And it does. Cool, right, it's coming along. Sounds brushed all the wall down, it's looking alright. We're just going to give it a good vacuum now, which will make it a bit clearer where our shower is, because I'm going to carry on with this. I've got right up under the back done. It's supporting that back corner. So that's 3/4 of the way there. I just need to get this front finished off now. I've got a mix. I'll carry on. So there we go. I don't know if it looks any different, but it is a bit. Little by little. How's the wall looking?
All right.
Yeah, better,
To be
actually.
honest, you could just keep going on and on and
Yeah,
on. You
do.
stick Henry in these holes, and it just keeps coming because it's just soil.
Vacuum the field up.
It's just there's nothing there. It's just soil. But it's better than it was. We're both absolutely melting, although it's considerably cooler in here than it is outside.
But it's still.
But
it's time for an ice cold beer, I
hot and
reckon.
thirsty work. I was just going to say that. You took the words right
Dusty
out
and
my
thirsty
mouth.
makes you parched, doesn't it? So yes, thank you everyone for watching. We'll be carrying on with this.
Yeah.
And see what ideas we come up with for the rest of it.
Yes.
On
Thursday.
Well done, we've done it right again. So thank you everyone, thank you so much. Thanks to everyone that supported the channel. We couldn't do it without you. We'll see you in the next one.
Thanks, guys.